Hello, how you doing? This is Tom Styles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And going to show you something a little different this morning. In that one of my subscribers, who wishes to remain anonymous, has donated via a credit on Amazon this radio for me to review. And what it is, it's a AM and FM HD radio. Now, I didn't realize that there were stations on the AM band that were broadcasting in HD, but apparently there are. The other HD radio I have does not receive the AM band HD, and this one does. So I'm just going to just talk about it and just kind of give you some information about this particular radio. Like I say, it's sold on Amazon. I think it's about $130, somewhere around there. Prices change a little bit. And it's sold by, or it's built by SPARC, S-P-A-R-C, and the model number is SHD-T750. And supposedly it's the latest and greatest of the HD radio type of radio system. And it has some very unusual features and some not so good drawbacks. And I want to go over those today. I'm not going to do report card. I'm just going to go through the radio for you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to zoom in the camera to just this you can see how big it is. It's pretty in size. So it'll fit on a good sized nightstand or your desk, and got two big stereo speakers on the side that try and give you an indication of size. And here's the depth, and it runs on AC. It does have battery backup to keep the memory and the clock saved. So it uses, I thought initially it would actually run on the batteries, but no, it doesn't run on the batteries as far as the radio is concerned. It just has a battery backup. Okay, let me take you around, and like I said, I was going to zoom in, so let me zoom in first a little bit. And then let me see if I turn the light off will show the display up better. And actually it doesn't. And unfortunately it doesn't do a good job of showing the display, because the display is really nice. It's high definition display. It's I think it's about 3 inches across, and it provides a lot of information. You see, I'm trying to trick the camera into making it show up a little better. Yeah, it still doesn't do it. I don't know what I have to do. It's right now it's displaying a white block here with information about this particular station. And like I say, maybe if I turn it, maybe there's a little bit better. It can show you the station name is WDUV, and then up here it says the frequency 105.5, and then down here it says Life Favorites. And that's one thing that this radio does, is it displays a lot of the digital information that these type of radios put out. And that's one of the things you get from an HD radio station, is you get data which the radio can decode. If you saw my previous videos where I was showing you this piece of software that will detect and decode this data on your PC using an SD Sharp with a USB dongle, this radio is doing the same thing, and it will show different things depending on what station you're on, because they could put out different things. And like I said, I wish it showed up better. Maybe if I zoom in some more, maybe it'll show up better. Try to get that light up here. Nah, just not quite getting it. But anyway, you've got, let me use a pin here. Reach over there. Well, for one of my standby, for one of my subscribers, I'll bring in Mr. Finger. So down here, although you can't read it, it's saying some more information. In this case, it's saying 105.5, the Dove, and then there's information up here on the top. Again, I wish you could make the camera read it. It's not even in very good focus. And right now I'm using a paper clip for an antenna because, well, number one, there appears to be no built-in antennas, so you have to use external antennas, and they do provide you a antenna which is just a long wire for the AM band, and they provide you with another like little tiny dipole that you just kind of hang up in your room for the FM band. And you almost have to use this unless you have a really strong station. And if you do use those, you do get a lot of stations. Matter of fact, I get every station that's listed within 50-mile radius. Every station when I've got those antennas hooked up. Right now, this was the only one I could get it to capture. I don't have, where the heck, I guess I took my cable. Well, what I can do, let me try this. Hold on a second, because like I say, it's got a lot of nice features and I'm just not receiving many stations. But we can try the old jumper wire to my outside HF band. It's not FM band, and see if that helps. We'll clip that to the excuse me, to the outside antenna connector, and then we'll clip that back to, well, that instead we'll clip it to this paper clip I'm using. Okay, now and what you can do, this is another thing that's strange about it. Let's go back out some more so you can see the buttons that I'm using. Okay, it's got a whole bunch of buttons down here on the bottom, and they do various functions, of course. And the way you tune this antenna is it's really difficult, almost impossible, to tune it like you would any other radio, where you either have a tuning knob or you have a button that will just go up one increment of the frequency. The only thing you have on this radio that I've found is these two seek buttons, and it will just look for a strong station. So if you want to, look for a weak station, it's going to be difficult. You can do it, and I've done it by hitting the seek button and hitting again real quick so that it doesn't go up too high in frequency, but it's really not built for that. So you just hit the up or down seek button, and it goes off and looking on its own. And then when it finds a strong station, and I've got the volume turned down because this is right now on the FM band, and I don't want to broadcast any FM music. So let's and there's doing the seeking, and it found another station, and it says it's in HD and it's trying to decode the HD data, although that's not a very good station. I don't even know where that station is. Don't recognize it. There we go. It did come up with something. Again, you probably can't read it. Sorry about that. Maybe I should have used a different camera. But anyway, up here at the top, it has decoded some of the digital data, and it says WTZB-FM 105.9 The Buzz. And so far, that's all that it's decoded. Well, I did decode something down here. It says TYE. That might be, or could be. It looks like TVE. It could be the artist name or something. So let's see if we can find. Let me go down, because I know there's some strong stations down below. Okay, there's WDUV again. We already had that one. Okay, there's 104.7. That's pretty popular in this area. So it's decoding some data, telling you right now. It says down here, again, you can't read it. It says Q105 / Tampa Bay's greatest hits. And like I say, the other thing that they'll show you is they will also, if the station is putting it out, they will show you some cover art. You know, the art that appears on the album. It'll actually show up here in nice high resolution color. I don't know if I'll get one of those. So anyway, let's move on. Let's go over the buttons since we're down here looking at buttons. The first button here is the menu button. Push that, and there's various things you can do. You can also tell it whether you want to seek, when you're using these seek buttons, all stations, both HD and not HD, are just HD stations. So that's an option. You can set the time. It's a clock when it's turned off, and some other things that you can set up. So let's get off the menu, back to the station. Then let me go back to the menu for a second. So you're on the menu button, and then you use this button here, which is SEL, for select, to select a menu option. Again, not showing up too well on my camera. And then while you're in the menu, you use these two buttons here, the seek buttons, to move around in the menu. Okay, so that's the menu. Then you can change what's on the display by hitting this display button, pushing that button. So now it's showing more information. Again, I wish you could read it, but there's two lines of information, and the bottom line is actually scrolling. And I think there's 3 displays you can pick from. Yeah, here's another display which showing you the frequency and the fact that it's HD1. There's options under HD to have 3 or 4 different sub stations under each frequency. And so there's all kinds of things that you can get, digital information that you can read that's coming from the stations. Nothing new there as far as an HD radio, but you can also do this on the AM band for an HD station. Okay, I'll get back to the seek buttons. Again, you have no real tuning buttons. You can only do seeks, or let the radio do seeks. So I can hit the down seek, and it will look for the next station, and I've got it to select find all, both HD and non-HD stations. And it'll go along, and it's just like a search on your shortwave radio. It'll go find the next strongest station. So if you, for instance, if you wanted to listen, if you knew there was a station, and say it was at 102.1, but it was a weak station, except maybe at night it came in stronger. Well, by pushing the seek up and seek down, you can actually tune that in manually, because when you hit seek, it starts looking. If you hit seek again, it'll stop. So if I wanted to go to 102.1, I'll have to hit the down seek and quickly hit it again. So let's see if we can do it. It's a challenge. Okay, I got it stopped at 103. Let me do it again. Seek on. Okay, I found a station. So let me go on. I don't want that one. Okay. Oh, it didn't work. I missed it. It's difficult. So, yeah, I came close. I got to 102.3. So that's one thing about this radio. You will not be able to easily, as you saw from my little trial and error, manually tune it. So that's a drawback. So this is basically listening for strong strong HD, AM, or FM stations, and let the radio find it. So that's a drawback. Like I said, the other drawback is, and let me zoom out, and I wish the video was better, is, like I said, you have to have external antennas. This is a connection. It's an F connector. Come on, Mr. Finger, do your job. This is an F connector for the FM band antenna, and then one of these two is for the AM band. And you're basically not going to get very many stations if you don't have an external antenna. My assumption is there is no built-in antennas whatever. So if you wanted, if you wanted to move this around, like I just did, I had it set up a few minutes ago on the other side of my office here with those two antennas connected, and I was using it over there, and so I brought it over here so that I could show it to you. Well, I disconnected those antennas, and they're up in among all the wires, so I wasn't bothered to move it, so I had to kind of make this little setup here to show you anything. So that's a drawback. The buttons on the top, it's got more buttons on the top. This is the power button here. This is the source, and it has 3 sources that you can have. You can have AM, FM, and an external source. So you can plug in your MP3 player and use the amplifier and speakers in this radio, which produce a very good audio. Does an excellent job with the audio. Then you have your big snooze button for your alarms, and this is over here. You got alarm 1, so you got 2 alarms you can set, and then here's your volume up and down, which I'm not sure why they got those on the top and why they don't have them down here someplace, but that's the way it goes. And then that's all the buttons. There's no buttons on the side or anything like that. So oh, and there's right here is the headphones jack. If you want to use headphones or earbuds, that's right there. So with the 2 speakers, though, you get stereo, so no problem there. The instruction manual, this is the instruction manual, and it's basically, well, there it is. It's 6 pages because printed front and back. So that's the instruction manual. It's excuse me, let's get a drink here. It is extremely poor. Some of the functions are not even listed. And they're not hidden functions. They're just, they don't, the buttons are there and they don't tell you how to use them. So, and some of the instructions are incorrect. Apparently, when they translated them from Chinese to English, they made some mistakes. So, you're going to have to play with this radio. The basic stuff is all there, but if you want to do use some of the neat features, it takes a little getting used to. Now, speaking of which, one thing that drove me crazy is this comes from the factory as a default with Audible feedback when you push buttons. So if you're have a vision problem, you'll know what's going on. Nice feature. But if you've got that feature turned on, some of the sub-features, I'll call it, are turned off. So I was trying to do something. I don't remember what it was. I was trying to do something. I could not get it to work. And the instructions weren't very clear. And it just, you know, I thought it was broken. And so I thought, well, let me try turning that option for the audio feedback off. Boom, the other features started working. So doesn't tell you that. You have to learn that on your own. Okay, let's kind of go through some of the it has, and I don't remember, it's got does it say in the manual, it's got memory storage so that you can save stations that you found. I don't remember how many. Preset. Well, this is what the documentation says. It says station presets unlimited. I'm not sure what that means. I guess it means a lot. So anyway, I haven't used that function yet, but it says station presets unlimited. I wonder how long will it take you to get to unlimited -1. Okay, so it's got presets, and you use these buttons here. Come here, Mr. Finger, get in the show. I'm going to put you back in timeout if you're not going to stay in tune here. So it's got channel up and channel down to select those presets. PS, what? I don't even remember what that is. I never used it. Let me see. Let me look at the manual. Maybe it just accidentally tells me. PS. Oh, now wait a minute here. Maybe I've discovered something, and that's one of the reasons I do these shows, because I'm forced to show you, not forced to show you, but when I'm showing you something, I have to try to figure out how it works. So according to the manual, is the channel buttons are used to increase the frequency up and down. Let's see if it works. I may have solved my problem. Well, it does. Yeah, it works. So, boom. What I was saying about having to use Seek, nah. You can manually tune using the channel buttons. I guess the name, the CH kind of threw me off, because I was thinking more of that's like a stored channel. But it turns out the PS button, which I have never used, is the stored frequencies in memory. So, I learned something. So, gosh. I feel like an idiot now. Well, I always feel like an idiot, but I feel even more so now. So that's what PS up and down is. That's for this to move through the stored frequencies, and the channel is to manually tune it. See, it's manually tuning now. And I think there is one of the setups in the menu button, I believe, is let me just see if I can find it real quick, or make another dummy out of myself. Okay, we're going to go to settings, tuning region. I think let me see what that does. Okay, that menu option is letting me select where the FM band is, for instance, because in different parts of the world it's different frequencies, and it's set up for the US right now. Okay, so we're through with that. Go back to menu, shut that down. So that's not doing what I was hoping it would do, which was to select this increase, because right now it's increasing by 0.2 of a megahertz, which is fine for that band. Okay, so moving right along. So that was that, but the PS button. Like I say, the display, even though it's kind of small, it's very easy to read. Even the small lettering is very easy to read. I told you about it uses batteries for a backup, but you can't use them to play the radio. You have to have the AC adapter. So this is a table, desk, whatever radio. It's not a portable radio whatsoever. The lettering on the buttons and everything are real easy to read. In the case of the ones on the front, they are white lettering on black background, makes it really easy. And on the top, they are a light gray on a very dark gray, so they show up very well. So the lettering is very easy to read. This does not have, that I can tell, and like I say, I've already made one mistake about this channel up and down thing. I didn't find any way to do an ATS function, auto tuning and storage. It basically, you use the sync button, you find a station, and then you go over and use the memory buttons to store that in one of the memory locations. Again, the instructions are not that good. Matter of fact, let me just look, see if I can find them. Yeah, setting presets. Says tune the station you want to make a preset. So you find a station, press and hold the PS button. When the preset number blinks, press PS up or PS down to select the channel you want or the memory location you want to save, and then press select to save it. So that's how you save one, and then it tells you how to delete. So that'll work. Okay, what else do I have in my notes? Oh, here I put in my notes what took me so long, why it took me so long to do something because it was in that audio feedback mode. I couldn't set the clock. I had no control of setting the clock. So once I took it out of that mode, then I could set the clock. Plus, I could do other functions that I couldn't do when I had it in that mode. Okay, I think that's about it. For the price, I think, which is about $135, it gives you a lot of functions, gives you a lot of information on the screen. Let me seek another strong station. Maybe we can get it to show us some album art. I don't know how well it'll show up, and I'm getting a lot of reflections too. Okay, that's on 101.5. That's a popular station, and it may take it a while. Okay, there it came up with some art. Again, not sure. There's some more art, album art. That's actually some art from the station. It's saying the station's frequency and some information about the station. And then down at the bottom, again, which you can't see, it's telling you who the artist is right now and what the name of the song is. So to me, that's handy because I can never remember any of that information. And you know, when I want to listen to something, I thought, well, who was the artist that I liked when I was listening to the radio? Never can remember. So anyway, that's a review. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. I did learn something myself today about the channel buttons, being able to tune manually. So that problem is solved. And this radio with the external antennas, and these are just little short antennas that you stick on the wall in your room. It was able to pick up a lot of stations. I did pick up one station that was, I think it's about 65 miles from me, which is pretty good for FM, and that was even in the daytime. I don't know how well it'll do at nighttime. Typically nighttime the FM band is stronger. That's the show for today. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.